try to complete. Then another topic, maxima and minima in quadratic expressions. Maxima and minima in quadratic expressions. Maxima and minima in quadratic expressions. Maxima and minima in a quadratic expression. Another minimum 90 minutes to maximum 120 minutes it take to complete these concept. Minimum 90 minutes to maximum 120 minutes. Another minimum and maximum variety with respect to quadratic expression. First we will write down the key points, then we will understand few things, we will take few examples, we will have a good foundation on this topic, then we will solve a practice problems. Minimum 90 minutes to maximum 120 minutes. We will finish it off today. We will finish it off today. Now, please write down some key points. Maxima and minimum for quadratic expressions. Key points. Key points. Quadratic expression. Only maxima and minima we will discuss. On quadratic equation itself, I will take 6 to 8 hours. Quadratic expression. This is nothing but an expression with degree 2. Expression with degree 2 is a quadratic expression. The generic form is ax square plus bx plus c. A should not be equivalent to 0. If a is equivalent to 0, then it becomes a linear. Ax square plus bx plus c. Now, example, f of x is x square minus 5x plus 6. If f of x is equated with 0, if a quadratic expression is equated with 0, if a quadratic expression is equated with 0, I will get quadratic equation. Equation is expression equated with 0. I will get an quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. X square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0, then x equivalent to 2 comma 3. That means it x equivalent to 2, f of 2 will be equivalent to 0. At x equivalent to 3, f of 3 will be equivalent to 0. Am I right? F of 2 will be equivalent to 0, f of 3 will be equivalent to 0. What is a quadratic expression? Expression with degree 2 is called a quadratic expression. A quadratic expression is of the form ax square plus bx plus c. If I take an example x square minus 5x plus 6, if I equate it with 0, then I will get a quadratic equation. X square minus 5x plus 6 0, x will be 2 comma 3. What are these 2 comma 3? 2 is, if I substitute, f of 2 is 0. If I substitute 3, f of 3 is 0. Now from this explanation, let us take some important points. If y is x square, if y is x square minus 5x plus 6, if y is equated with 0, x square minus 5x plus 6 is 0. That means x is 2 comma 3. That means if I take in coordinate points, at x equivalent to 2, y will be 0. At x equivalent to 3, y will be 0. If y is 0, if y coordinate is 0, if y coordinate is 0, that means the graph is touching the x-axis. Graph is touching the x-axis. Am I right? If y coordinate is 0, graph is touching the x-axis. Or in other words, 2 comma 3 are called the roots of the quadratic equation. Roots of the quadratic equation. What do you mean by a root? Root is a value which makes y equivalent to 0. Which makes the y coordinate 0, then that is called a root. If x equivalent to 2, if I substitute in this equation, 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 6, 10 minus 10 it is 0. 3 square minus 5 into 3 plus 6, 15 minus 15, 0. If any value which I substitute in the equation if it is y, if the equation becomes 0, then that is called the root. Praveen, mark pen. That is called the root. I hope it is clear, right? That is called the root. Idea clear, right? Next one. Please write down, sir. Write down. What is a root? A root is a value which will make the equation 0. Or root is a value which will create y as 0. 5 minutes, few important key points. Then we will solve maxima and minima. First point. I hope this first point is 0. Next point. Please write down. Next point. Discriminant of quadratic expressions. Discriminant of quadratic expression. If y is ax square plus bx plus c, then discriminant is called as b square minus 4ac. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. 3 cases only I will take. There is 4 cases, but I will take 3 cases. Or I will write d less than 0, d is greater than 0. D is a perfect square, D is not a perfect square. What is that? With an example I will explain it very clearly. If it is less than 0, that means roots are imaginary. Roots are imaginary. What do you mean by imaginary roots? That means the graph will not touch the axis. Graph will not touch the axis. Graph will not touch the x-axis. Equivalent to 0, that means roots are equal. Roots are equal. What do you mean by equal roots? Praveen, roots are equal. Roots are equal means graph will touch the axis only at one point. Please write all these points, sir. Graph will touch the x-axis only at one point. Graph will touch the axis only at one point. I will tell it very clearly in the graph is greater than 0. Graph will touch the axis at 2 points. Graph will touch the axis at 2 points. Please make a note of it, then I will discuss in detail. Discriminant tells the nature of the roots. Discriminant will tell you the nature of the roots. If it is equivalent to 0, roots are equal, graph will touch the axis only at one point. I will prove it to you with an example in the next slide. Write the theory here. With examples we will discuss in the next slide. Graph will touch the x-axis only at one point. Less than 0, graph will not touch the axis. If a graph is not touching the axis, then the roots are imaginary. Then the roots are imaginary. If the graph is touching the axis at 2 points, then it is greater than 0. That's all. We will not go deep into discriminant. This is what is required to find out the maximum and the minimum value. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Graph will touch the axis at 2 points, at 1 point, at no point. 2 points, 1 point and no point. 2 points, 1 point and no point. This is what we require. Greater than 0, equivalent to 0 and less than 0. Example. Please take this one, sir. Graphs for, based on graphs, we will do the maxima and minima. Graphs for quadratic expressions. Graphs for quadratic expression. Case 1. The quadratic expression is of the form ax square plus bx plus c. Let me take a case a greater than 0. In that one, case 1a. Case 1a, see here. D is greater than 0. Let us take y is x square minus 5x plus 6. X square minus 5x plus 6. A is 1 greater than 0. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. 4 into 1 into 6. 25 minus 24. 1 is greater than 0. Greater than 0. If I equate this graph, x square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0, x is 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3. The graph will always be an upward parabola. This is 2. This is 2. This is 3. The graph will be like this. This is 2 and it is 3. So the graph is touching the x-axis at 2 points. These are nothing but the roots. D is greater than 0. First quadrant x is positive, y is positive. X is negative, y is positive. X is negative, y is negative. X is positive, y is negative. X is positive, y is negative. First write down this one. D is greater than 0. The value of 2 comma 3 can become 1 comma 4 and everything. The graph will be an upward parabola. What is important here is, what I said, the graph will touch the axis at 2 points. The graph will touch the axis at 2 points. Only look at from this point of angle, it is touching at 2 points. That could be 2 comma 3, that could be minus 1 comma 0, it could be anything. The graph is going upwards. The graph is going upwards and it is touching the axis at 2 points. When D is greater than 0, I told you that the graph is touching the axis at 2 points. Yes, it is touching the axis at 2 points. Remaining all the conclusions, we will do it little later. 1a, if D is greater than 0, prove that the graph is touching the axis at 2 points. It is touching the axis at 2 points. Case 1a, it is clear. Case 1b. Case 1b. Now see here. Case 1b, we will change the equation. Case 1b. If I erase this one, case 1b, what we will see is, we will not see D greater than 0. D equivalent to 0, we will see it. Then we will see what is happening to this case. Case 1b. If I take case 1b, D is equivalent to 0. Example, x square minus 4x plus 4. D is x square minus 4x plus 4. A is 1 greater than 0. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. 16 minus 16, it is 0. This is nothing but x minus 2 whole square equivalent to 0. So the graph is, for this example, the graph is touching the axis only at one point. The graph is touching the axis only at one point. I hope you are all with me. The graph is touching the axis at only one point. That is what I told you. Only look at it from this point. If D is equivalent to 0, the graph is touching the axis at only one point. At x equivalent to 2, y value is 0. The graph is touching the axis only at one point. The graph is going upwards. The graph is going upwards. I hope it is clear. Now we will see case number 3. Y is ax square plus bx plus c. We are discussing the case a is greater than 0. Case 1, a is greater than 0. In that one, case 1c, d less than 0. If I take example x square minus 4x plus 13, discriminant is b square minus 4ac, 16 minus 52 minus 36, which is less than 0. D is less than 0. D less than 0 means roots are imaginary. Roots are becoming imaginary. Imaginary roots cannot be drawn on a number line. So the first one, if you visualize it, the first one is like this. Second one is like this. Third one is like this. So what we will do is, we will draw that third one. Slowly it is becoming like this. The graph is not touching the axis. The graph is not touching the axis. The graph is not touching the axis. The graph is not touching the x-axis. I hope that 3 key points are clear. D greater than 0, the graph will touch the axis at 2 points. D greater than 0, graph will touch the axis at 2 points. D equivalent to 0, the graph will touch the axis at 1 point. D less than 0, graph will not touch the axis. Graph will not touch the axis. Now, I will do all the 3 cases. Case 1, A is greater than 0. This is the case where D is greater than 0. D is greater than 0. This is the case where D is equivalent to 0. D is equivalent to 0. This is the case where D is less than 0. I hope under case 1 greater than 0, these 3 are clear. But very important conclusion, we will do it little later, but once we will understand. This is f of x is ax square plus bx plus c. D greater than 0, the graph is touching the axis at 2 points. D equivalent to 0, the graph is touching at 1 point. D is less than 0, it is not touching the axis. Very, very important point. Please write down. Y is ax square plus bx plus c. What is the graph? The graph can be like this, or the graph can be like this, or the graph can be like this. The graph, this is x positive, y positive, x negative, y positive, x negative, y positive. This is x comma y. In all the cases, y is positive. Very, very important point. The quadratic expression will be greater than 0 only if A is greater than 0 and D is less than 0. Please write this point. A quadratic expression will be greater than 0. Why it is greater than 0? It is lying in the first quadrant or the second quadrant. First quadrant or the second quadrant. So in first and second quadrant, y will always be greater than 0. A quadratic expression, for a quadratic expression to be greater than 0, only 2 conditions needs to be satisfied. A greater than 0 and D less than 0. When a quadratic expression will be greater than 0, only if A is greater than 0 and D is less than 0. Quadratic expression will be greater than 0 only if A greater than 0 and D less than 0. Coefficient of x square should be greater than 0 and discriminant should be less than 0. Similarly, if I take case 2, Case 2 is a less than 0. That means a is negative. You can do it a little later with some dummy values. Case 2a, d greater than 0. Case 2b, d is equivalent to 0. Case 2c, d is less than 0. So the graph just will be an inverted parabola. The graph will be like this. I will tell you in graphs why the graph is changing like this, right? So a is less than 0. A will become negative. So the graph will become inverted. This will become an inverted parabola. Again, if you see this d greater than 0, it is touching the axis at 2 points. It is touching the axis at 1 point. It is not touching the axis. X positive, y positive. X negative, y positive. X negative, y negative. X positive, y negative. Very, very important point. Please write down in bracket. A quadratic expression will be less than 0, will be less than 0 only if a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. Please put a star mark on this. Please put a star mark on this. A quadratic expression will be less than 0 only if a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. Very simple to look at it, sir. Expression will be greater than 0 if a is greater than 0. D is less than 0 is common in both. Expression will be less than 0 when a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. We'll write these two important key points in the next slide. Two important key points. Ax square plus bx plus c. If this is y, this is a function of x. Two cases. Ax square plus bx plus c greater than 0 only if a is greater than 0 and d is less than 0. Ax square plus bx plus c less than 0 only if a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. Very, very, very important concept in quadratic expression. Please make a note of it, sir. Very simple way. Expression will be greater than 0 if the coefficient of x square is greater than 0. Greater than if a is greater than 0. D less than 0 is common in both. Quadratic expression will be less than 0 if the coefficient of x square a is less than 0. Very, very important point. Please make a note. Please make a note. Greater than 0 only if a greater than 0, d is less than 0. Only if a less than 0, d less than 0. Till here, is it clear? If it is clear, kindly reply. Kindly reply in the live chat if these are clear to you. Then I will solve some problems right now to help you understand this concept. Everybody kindly reply if it is clear to you. Everybody reply. Praveen, any disturbance? Everybody kindly reply, is it clear? Is it clear? Now we will solve some problems. Now we will solve some problems. We will solve some problems, then we will get into the next concept. Direct, we will solve that problems. Now see the first question, sir. See the first question. F of x is ax square. Very, good quality question, sir. Ax square plus bx plus c. ax square plus bx plus c. We know that sum of the roots is minus b by a. Product of the roots is c by a. Sum of the roots is minus b by a and product of the roots is c by a. The graph is like this. The graph is like this. That means alpha is positive, beta is positive. Alpha is positive, beta is positive. Now see here, sir. Alpha, beta is c by a. The graph is going upwards. If the graph is going upwards, graph is going upwards. If the graph is going upwards, it is moving upwards. A is greater than 0. A is greater than 0. The options are, which of the following are always true? That is the question. Which options are always true? These is the question, sir. Which options are always true? Which options are always true? There are 4 options which are given. Which options will be mandatorily be true? Which options will be mandatorily be true? Now see here. There are 4 options are given. Which options are always true? We'll write down the question here. Which options are always true? Which options are always true? See here, sir. First thing, a is greater than 0. A is less than 0. It is not possible. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Alpha, beta is c by a. Alpha here is positive, beta is positive. So this is positive. A anyway it is greater than 0, it is positive. So C should be positive. Am I right? C should be positive. C is greater than 0. The graph is touching the axis. The graph is touching the axis at 2 points. The graph touches the axis at 2 points. Graph touches the axis at 2 points. D is greater than 0. D is less than 0, not possible. Praveen, door close. D is less than 0, not possible. Now see here, sir. Alpha is positive, beta is positive. This is positive. A is positive. So B has to be negative, because negative into negative is only positive. B has to be negative. B is negative, A is positive. A and B are of opposite sign. 2 options are always true. 2 options are always true. Very, very good question, sir. 2 options are always true. Again, I am explaining. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Alpha, beta are there on the right side. So alpha is positive, beta is positive. Both are positive, answer will be positive. Graph is growing upwards, A will be positive. So B has to be negative, because negative into negative is positive. A is positive, B is negative. Why it should be negative? Negative into negative is positive. A positive, B negative. Option D is always true. If I take product of the roots, alpha, beta equivalent to C by A. Both are positive, so it is positive. A is anyway positive, C has to be positive. A and C is greater than 0. So A and B are of opposite sign, it is true, and C greater than 0, it is true. Everybody, I hope it is clear. No values, nothing. Just by looking at it, we should be able to say the sign of A, B and C. I hope it is clear. Kindly reply in the live chat if it is clear to you. Is it clear to you? Kindly reply. What are the conclusions? Graph is growing upwards. A is greater than 0. Sum of the roots is minus b by a. 2 positive, answer will be positive. A is positive, B should be negative, because negative into negative should give you positive. A and B are of opposite sign. Alpha beta is C by A. Both are positive. Both are positive. A is positive, C should be positive. C greater than 0. Very, very good question. Introductory question, because we used a condition D greater than 0, D equivalent to 0, D less than 0. One more question I created so that everybody you will understand this idea. Again the question is, which options are always true? Which options are always true? Which options are always true? Options are like this: ax square plus bx plus c, a greater than 0, b less than 0, c greater than 0, b square minus 4ac is 0. The graph is touching the axis. The graph is touching the axis at 2 points. The graph is touching the axis at 2 points. So definitely it will be D greater than 0. This is not possible. This is not possible. The graph is an inverted parabola. The graph is an inverted parabola. Because it is an inverted parabola, A will be less than 0. Option A is false. Now we will use alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A and alpha beta equivalent to C by A. Sum of the roots and product of the roots we will use. Alpha plus beta is minus B by A, alpha beta is C by A. To the right side of x-axis, alpha is positive, beta is negative. Positive into negative, it is negative. A is less than 0, A is negative, C should be positive. Positive by negative can only give me negative. So C should be greater than 0. C should be greater than 0. I hope it is clear. First, alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A. Alpha could be greater than beta. Alpha could be equal to beta. Alpha could be less than beta. Am I right? Alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A. The graph is not drawn to the scale. Alpha could be greater than beta. Alpha could be equivalent to beta. Alpha could be less than beta. We cannot say the sign of alpha and beta, because if I take 3 greater than 2, 3 plus 2 it is positive. If I take 3 equivalent to 3, so beta will become 3 minus 3, right? If I take beta as minus alpha is less than beta, so there could be a case where it is 1 or it is minus 2, where it could be a case where it is 3 or it could be 1. Are you all with me? So we cannot judge a case. Are you all with me? So this case is not possible. We cannot must say that it is true. So C greater than 0. I hope the idea is clear. I hope the idea is clear. Why it cannot judge the case? If alpha equivalent to 3, beta equivalent to 2, alpha plus beta it will be positive. Alpha equivalent to 2, beta equivalent to minus 2, alpha plus beta it will become 0. Alpha equivalent to 2, beta equivalent to minus 3, 2 minus 3 it becomes negative. Alpha plus beta can become positive, can become 0, can become negative. You cannot say the sign of alpha plus beta mandatorily it should be positive, negative. It could be positive, it could be negative, or it could be 0. So this case is not possible. So answer is C will be greater than 0. Alpha plus beta, this case I am not taking, because this value can be positive, can be negative, can be 0. I cannot deduce the sign of A and B based on alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A, because one is lying to the right side of the axis, another is lying to the left side of the axis. I hope it is clear. So which of the options are always true? Answer is C greater than 0. C greater than 0. I hope the idea is clear. Kindly reply in the live chat. Only option C is always true. Any doubts, kindly mention this model. Any doubt, kindly mention. Any doubt, kindly mention. Can I go to the next question? Can I go to the next question? I hope a beautiful questions I created in quadratic expression so that you will understand. So that you will understand how to use this concept. Everybody kindly reply, sir. Kindly reply in the live chat if this is clear to you. This topic requires a revision. Enrolled students, by today night I will try my level best to upload it in your portal. If not tomorrow morning, but within 48 hours, please revise it. I hope this question is clear. Next one. Beautiful question, sir. Amazing question it is. Amazing question. Question is, find the range of M such that this one. First concept, please write down. Concept. If I take a rational function, answer is only one option is always true, that is option C. If I take a rational function, a rational function will be of the form A by B. Two cases will come. If A by B is less than 0, A can be less than 0 and B can be greater than 0. Or A can be greater than 0 and B can be less than 0. Two cases will come. Directly you cannot cross multiply. Please do not cross multiply. Do not cross multiply. A by B less than 0. Positive by negative is negative. Negative by positive is also negative. For a rational function to be less than 0, A less than 0 and B greater than 0, or A greater than 0 and B less than 0. Two cases I will get. A less than 0 and B greater than 0, or A greater than 0 and B less than 0. With this understanding, let us solve this question, sir. This question is a best question for today, sir. Very, very good quality question. Listen carefully to this question. Rational function cannot be cross multiplied. Put 1 plus 3x square plus 4 plus x square plus 2x plus 2 minus 5 less than 0. Put the entire right hand side to left hand side. This is nothing but x square plus 2x plus 2. This will become m minus 5 into x square, 3x minus 10x minus 7x, 4 minus 10, it is minus 6. This is less than 0. M minus 5 into x square minus 7x minus 6 divided by x square plus 2x plus 2 less than 0. Now if you observe the denominator is a value 1 greater than 0. Discriminant b square minus 4ac, 4 minus 8 minus 4, which is less than 0. What is that we discussed? Ax square plus bx plus c will be greater than 0. The expression will be greater than 0 only if a is greater than 0 and d is less than 0. This is the beauty of that concept. Directly, I don't need to take two cases. I don't need to take two cases. Praveen, I don't need to take two cases. Automatically it is greater than 0. Automatically denominator is greater than 0. If the denominator is greater than 0, numerator will be less than 0. Entire this expression will be less than 0. I hope it is clear. Till here it is clear. Directly by looking at the equation only, we can say that m minus 5 into x square minus 7x minus 6 divided by x square plus 2x plus 2. A is 1, D is less than 0. A greater than 0, D less than 0. The expression will be greater than 0. Expression will be greater than 0. Denominator is greater than 0. For a rational function to be less than 0, if the denominator is greater than 0, numerator should be less than 0. Numerator should be less than 0. I hope this idea is clear. Second step. Step number 1, we concluded that numerator is less than 0. We will write that equation. M minus 5x square minus 7x minus 6. This should be less than 0. This is step number 2. Step number 2. Just now we discussed ax square plus c bx plus c less than 0 only if a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. So m minus 5 is less than 0, m is less than 5 and d less than 0, b square minus 4ab 49 minus 4 minus 6 plus 24m minus 120 less than 0. So these is nothing but 24m less than 71. M is less than 71 by 24. 71 by 24 is closer to 72 by 24. M is less than this. Anything that is less than 3 is always less than 5. So answer for this question is M less than 71 by 24. M is less than 71 by 24. Two cases I did. When an quadratic expression is greater than 0, when it will be less than 0. I will repeat the last step again. Till here we concluded. What we did is, first the thing is, the question is a 24. Any value less than 71 by 24 is less than 3. It is also less than 5. Once again, second time I am solving this question. Step number 1 for Jitendra and Sirish. I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear now. Once again, I will explain. Please listen. Second time I am explaining. Second time I am explaining. This is nothing but mx square plus 3x plus 4. Listen carefully, sir. Divided by x square plus 2x plus 2 minus 5 is less than 0. This is, somebody asked how it became 7x. Minus 5 into x square plus 2x plus 2 divided by x square plus 2x plus 2 less than 0. M minus 5 into x square. 3x minus 7x minus 7x. 4 minus 10 minus 6 divided by x square plus 2x plus 2 less than 0. This is step number 1. Step number 2. x square, a is 1, d is less than 0. So x square plus 2x, x square plus 2x plus 2. This is nothing but a is 1 greater than 0. So this is greater than 0. If this is greater than 0, positive, this is negative. That means m minus 5 into x square minus 7x minus 6 less than 0. When an expression will be less than 0, a less than 0 and d less than 0. A less than 0 and d less than 0. Jitendra beta, I hope it is clear. Shirisha, I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. Any doubts, kindly reply in the live chat. To all the enrolled students, please click on ANC YouTube live class videos. Close to 159 new videos. 110 hours of new content is uploaded. Right? Entire number system new questions. Entire algebra also new questions are uploaded. I am going to solve close to 8 to 10,000 questions from March 30th to June 30th or July 30th. All the classes in 2020, my resolution is all the topics I will only take the classes. All the topics I will only take the classes because I want my students to be the best. Most of you, right? Probably last year students know that I have taken very less number of YouTube live classes, right? Because of my health issues, I should not take classes for some months. But once I am back to form, then it will be like a tsunami. Now see here. Listen carefully, sir. This is plus. Beautiful question. Another one. Y will be 6x square plus 18x plus 21 divided by 6x square plus 18x plus 17. Tough question solved very easily. This is nothing but 1 by 6x square plus 18x plus 17. This is minimum. So denominator should be maximum. A is 6 greater than 0. D is b square minus 4ac. 8 square minus 4 into 6 into 17 less than 0. A greater than 0, the graph is going upwards. D is less than 0, right? Less than 0 means the graph is going upwards. If the graph is going upwards, I can determine the minimum value. Maximum is shooting up to infinite. So y minimum is nothing but 1 plus 4 by infinite. 1 by infinite tends to 0. So the answer is 1. So the answer is 1. I hope it is clear. Little advanced level, sir. Listen carefully. Do not miss any class. Most likely by May 2nd week, the enrolled students will also get another updated algebra 100 to 120 hours content. A is 6 greater than 0. D is b square minus 4ac. The graph is going upwards. Minimum graph is going upwards. Upwards means I can only determine minimum. Maximum I cannot determine. It will shoot up to infinity. I hope it is clear. So if this is minimum, all are constant, this quadratic expression is in denominator, it should be maximum. Next one. The entire graph of the equation is above x-axis. If it is above x-axis, either it can be like this, or it can be like this, or the entire graph lies above the x-axis, lies above the x-axis. So this will be y is x square. This is touching the axis. This is touching the axis. First two are touching the axis. First two are touching the axis. This is above the axis. This is above the axis. This is x square plus k minus 1 into x plus 9. The graph is going above the x-axis. Above the x-axis means d less than 0. Am I right? So d is nothing but k minus 1 whole square minus 4 into 9 less than 0. This is k minus 1 square minus 6 square less than 0. So the graph is touching a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b less than 0. So it is k minus 7 into k plus 5 less than 0. Less than means it lies between the values. Minus 1 less than k less than 7. Minus 5 less than k less than 7. I hope it is clear. First one it is touching the axis. Second also touching the axis. Above x-axis. Above x-axis means d should be less than 0. Anyway, a is 1, which is the coefficient of x square. D less than 0. K minus 1 square minus 6 square less than 0. K minus 1 plus 6, k minus 1 minus 7. K plus 5 into k minus 7 less than 0. Minus 5 less than k less than 7. Minus 5 less than k less than 7. The idea is clear to you. Use the condition d less than 0. Another one. Another one. Rational value. Already we did. I hope it is clear. 1 less than x less than 3. 1 less than x less than 3. I hope this concept is clear. Is it clear? Now, the second class is little advanced level concepts. Take time to digest it. Ax square plus bx plus c greater than 0. A greater than 0. D less than 0. All these questions, I hope it is clear. We will solve this question. Please see here, sir. X square plus a square plus 2 into x plus a square minus 5a plus 4 equivalent to 0. They have got opposite sign roots. They have got opposite sign roots. Product of the roots is c by a. Opposite means if this is positive, this will be negative. If this is negative, this is positive. Product will be alpha, beta is negative. A coefficient of this is positive. So c should be negative. If c is negative, a square minus 5a plus 4 should be less than 0. A minus 1 into a minus 4 less than 0. So a lies between 1 to 4. I hope the condition is, concept is clear to you. Alpha, beta, one is positive, one is negative. Positive into negative, negative, negative into positive, negative. Alpha, beta is negative. So left hand side negative. A is positive. C should be negative. So 1 less than a less than 4. I hope the idea is clear. Now, there are few more questions which might be a bouncer for you if I keep this time. This is 1, I took it to the right hand side, Shirisha. There is a 1 here. There is 1. 1 if it comes to the right hand side, it will become a square minus 5a. 5 minus 1 equivalent to 0. Question is right only.